Gucci bronzer in the lightest shade. Lots of comparisons. I've actually got 2 different shades on my face now. Stay tuned to see which one is which. You guys have been asking me about the new Gucci bronzer. I got it in the lightest shade. I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see. It came in fair, light, medium, tan, and dark. At least that's what I remember. I went back to the Sephora site to check it out and it's gone. So I can't really confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that was right. Pretty sure there were 5 shades. It comes in the same compact as the powder, which I will be doing a video on as well. That should be coming up soon. So, but the shade is this really pretty, it's almost like a teal leaning towards like a Tiffany blue shade. You've got the compact like this, opens to the mirror. As you push the mirror back, this flips up. There's a little handle. You push it up and there's a little teeny brush inside that says Gucci on it. I'm never gonna use this brush. And without this brush, you would have so much more space. Or you would just have a very, very thin compact to carry around, which frankly, I would like more, but you know, whatever. Maybe you wanna hide stuff in here. I don't know. It's pretty. I'm not really sure what the point of it is. But let's get to the important part. So the shade. So as I said, I got the fair. And the reason I did that is that recently, and I'll link them up above, I did the Charlotte Tilbury bronzers. And I originally got the fair, which works actually really well for me. It's a nice warming up of my whole face. I use it kind of an all over. I don't get too precise with it because I don't need to. It's very light, as you saw with my bronzer collection video, which I'll also link. It's the lightest I have. The closest, there's a dupe for it sort of in the Physicians Formula, but the Physicians Formula doesn't blur as much. So it's the lightest I have, and I do love it, but I wanted something a little bit darker. So I picked up the medium. The medium is a little bit too dark. There's not a light shade. So when I was picking this up and I looked at the site, all the shades looked weird. That's the only word I got. They looked weird. I couldn't tell which, some looked pink. I was confused. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going with fair. That's the best thing to do. I'm very pale. I've been extremely pale this year because I haven't gone outside. So let's go with it. And I'm very glad I did. So I'll bring you in closer when we put it on my skin, but I'll show you on my hand what the fair shade looks like. That's fair. I can't imagine what light is, if that's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's relatively intense. Okay, so next to it, and I'll put these, I'm gonna do some more swatches at the end. So these aren't gonna be the only swatches I do, guys, but I want to, for those of you who are in a big hurry and just wanna look at this really quickly, I'm gonna put it in between the light, the fair Charlotte Tilbury and the medium Charlotte Tilbury. And you'll notice something right away. Okay, so this is the light. It's really hard to see. Hopefully the camera can pick it up. Basically it blends into my skin. This is the medium, and the Gucci is in the middle. If you see it, it is lighter than the medium Charlotte Tilbury and darker, way darker than the fair Charlotte Tilbury. But what it also is pinker. It's much cooler. The Charlotte Tilbury medium is much more bronzy, much more warm than this Gucci. This Gucci is very cool toned. It almost looks like a contour color. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but if you're looking for a bronzing shade, you're gonna wanna go with the Charlotte Tilbury or others. Like I said, I'll do more swatches. If you're looking for a cool bronzer, something that goes like a red undertone, this is the bronzer for you. So I'm gonna put it on my face so you guys can see it. Like I said, I'll get close. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the Gucci on this side and the medium Charlotte Tilbury on this side. Because in terms of shade intensity, they're close. The Gucci is a little bit lighter, like I said, but really more importantly, it's cooler in tone. Okay, so we'll get close. Okay, that's about as close as anyone wants to get. We don't need to be closer than that. Okay, so let's start with the Gucci, and I'm gonna use my tried and true Tom Ford brush. This is the brush that I go to. I know how it works, I know how it looks on me, so we won't have any surprises. And we'll go in on this side of my face lightly. It does have a scent. I think it's violet, but I could be wrong. It smells a little like the meteorites from Guerlain, if you're familiar with that. Not exactly, but a little. I am not going in with the heavy hand here, guys. I'm going in lightly. Kind of just bring it down the edge of my nose a little. So like I said, I am fair. I guess you would probably call me fair to light. It depends on the line you're looking at. Like some makeup lines, I am fair. Like I am like the fairest of the fair. And then other makeup lines, I'm like 10 shades in. So it does matter, you know, it just depends. But I would say I'm fair to light. I don't think I'm the fairest of the fair. I have seen people who are have much less pigment to their skin than I do. So I would say if you're lighter than me, this is gonna be too dark. That's just my take. Maybe you like it that way, that's fine. But I would say it's gonna be too dark if you're lighter than me. If you're darker than me and you're like a light shade, this is gonna be great. If you're a light medium, it's probably great. Honestly, if you're like a medium skin tone, I think that's when you're gonna wanna step up. These are darker than they, in my opinion, should be. Okay, but I don't know I don't know if they stay that way, so the darkest shade is really, really deep. I don't know, because I only bought the fair. Okay, so that's how it looks. I haven't really blended it out very well, but I wanted you to see the shade. I actually think, and I've used it like once or twice before, I actually like it. I think it looks nice on my skin tone. I actually like the coolness of it. I like the sort of red tone of it, because when I tan, my skin goes red, my skin goes pink. So actually, it kind of looks a little natural on me. Like, it actually looks good. That's not everybody though. And I think a lot of people, when they're looking for a bronzer, they want something bronzy, which, you know, makes sense. So again, I don't think this is right for you if that's what you're looking for. I have no idea what the light would look like. I don't know if the light has a cool undertone as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the medium Charlotte Tilbury. And again, I'm gonna go in lightly. I'm not gonna go in with a heavy hand because I wanna try to show you guys. And I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury because one, I like the Charlotte Tilbury and I think it looks nice on my skin. And also because, let's face it, it's a newer product. You guys might have just picked it up. It's something that you could go purchase now if you're interested. And, you know, I would recommend it. It's a really nice bronzer. It does do a lot of blurring. And I feel like even though the medium is a tad dark, like I would prefer a shade in between. If I go in lightly with it, it's absolutely fine. Okay, here is Charlotte Tilbury. Here is the Gucci. When I look in the mirror, I don't see a huge difference, but I do notice it does look pinkier in its undertone. It's definitely cool toned. It definitely has a scent. It's beautifully packaged, as I said before. This is a gorgeous compact. I mean, if that's something that, you know, is really something that drives you, it's beautiful. I'm not, again, I don't like the thickness of it. I think that's kind of annoying, but yeah. I'm gonna swatch a couple others on my hand while we chat really briefly. So, you know, overall, do I like it? Yes, I do. Is it worth the $62 or $64? I can't remember what 62 or 60. 62? It was either 62 or 64. Is it worth the $62 or $64? No, I don't. I don't think so. I mean, the packaging is beautiful. For the packaging, it probably is. I wouldn't say though, hey, you know, this is something you must have. There's been a couple of products lately that I've been trying that I was really like, oh yeah, these are must-haves. I wouldn't say that about this one. I think it's very pretty. Like I said, I love the packaging of it. I like the fact that it's cool because I don't have as many cool bronzers for the obvious reason that they're bronzers, and bronzers tend not to be cool. So makes some sense. But not everybody likes that. And a lot of people who, you know, see a bronzer that's cool will call it a contour, which I get. So again, this is personal preference. That's the important part. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the various bronzers that I've put on my arm here. This is the Gucci Fair. Again, it's fair, guys. This is the Gucci Fair. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Fair. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Medium. I didn't actually swatch that really well because it looks, yeah, there we go. That's the Charlotte Tilbury Medium. This is the Dolce & Gabbana Solar Glow in Sunrise, which I put up here for you guys to see because it also has, it's kind of an in-between shade. It's not as dark as the medium Charlotte Tilbury, so it's a little bit lighter. The last is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Matte. I put this up here because this is another cool toned bronzer, but if you can see next to the Gucci, it is much fairer in shade and much less red, much less pink. So in comparison to all of those, I'm gonna put up my favorite bronzer, and if you watched my bronzer collection, you're gonna know what this is. This is the Terra bronzer from Tom Ford. That's Terra. And as you can see, Terra is a cooler shade. It's lighter than the Gucci. It's probably a similar shade to, I would say, the Too Faced Milk Chocolate, but a little bit deeper, if that helps. So again, here's the Gucci. Here's the Tom Ford Terra. Here's the Charlotte Tilbury Light. Here's the Charlotte Tilbury Medium. Here's the Dolce & Gabbana. I always forget the name of this one because I just don't use it. Sunrise. Here's the Too Faced Milk Chocolate. On my face, I think they're about the same. The Charlotte Tilbury Medium and the Gucci Fair. The Gucci definitely has a cooler undertone. Definitely. It's a shade bit lighter when you just swipe it on your hand when I was first looking at it. But if you use it on your face, like when you actually use the product, it's about the same as the medium. So if you were looking for something in between the Charlotte Tilbury Fair and the Charlotte Tilbury Medium, like I am, I don't think this works. I don't think it's in the middle. I think it's a little bit lighter, but really it's not about lightness or deepness. It's about undertone. It's just a lot pinker, a lot redder. And there you guys have it. I'll be honest with you, when I first opened it, I was like, did I get the wrong shade? Because it says 01, and then I was trying to find it on Sephora, and like I said, it's not on Sephora anymore, so I was like, okay. So I went back and looked at some beauty bloggers who had talked about it, and they had referred to 01 as fair. So it's just deep, guys. I mean, it's just, they start at a much deeper shade than what you would normally consider fair. So hopefully that helps. I don't know if the Gucci bronzers are coming back in stock. Like I said, they were on Sephora. The weird thing is they don't even say sold out. Like the Tom Ford palettes, which were sold out for a while and came back. I got my moss agate, by the way. I'm very excited. They came back, but they said sold out or unavailable or something. You could find them on the site. Sephora, they don't even exist anymore. Like, you can't find them. So I'm not sure what happened, but if I find out anything, I'll let you all know. So anyway, wanted to make this relatively quick, but to still give you all the information that you needed. Hopefully it helps. As always, if you could hit like, if you could hit subscribe, that really does help grow my channel. And I'll see you again in another video really soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.